When you go back to the Middle Ages and the Renaissance, something like 1/3 of the entire year were considered fast days. Now, what a fast day meant was you just couldn't eat meat. Because of this, they ate lots and lots of fish, whatever the fish happened to be that was local typically. So this particular recipe is from Catalonia, from Barcelona, and there they would have sardines. Now, they wouldn't have these miserable little sardines that we get imported. They would have had nice, big, fat sardines, because this was in the days before the Mediterranean was completely fished out. But we will do what we gotta do with these little ones, and what we gotta do is we gotta gut the things, because each little sardine has some guts in it, and you gotta cut that little baby open it up, and get rid of all those guts. Once you've done all this, of course, you want to take it over to water and wash them really, really well. So we have our washed up sardines all arranged in a nice little casserole. At this point, of course, you would be having your nice fireplace all ready to go with glowing embers, because these should be cooked in the glowing embers of a fireplace. We, of course, are going to use an oven because our glowing embers are not exactly where we would like them to be. So you need to season this. In the 15th century, the seasoning is typically ginger. Almost everything has ginger on it, and ginger is relatively cheap in these days. And then some pepper. Again, abundant quantities of pepper, because pepper is relatively inexpensive as well compared to other sort of spices like saffron, which costs an arm and a leg. And here you want to take the saffron and grind it up very, very, very finely. Sprinkle it on top. It also tells you to put on there some pine nuts. In many ways, this is not that much different from what you would find today in Catalonia. It's very sort of Spanish tasting, except for the ginger, of course. Spanish don't use ginger today to speak of. But the almonds that go in there would be very Spanish, as with the raisins. The sweet and savory thing that goes on in the Middle Ages still has some echoes in contemporary Spanish cuisine. And some good herbs. You're supposed to put in some good herbs. In this case, I think what they mean are some mint and some parsley. How much? Again, it's completely up to you, but I figure maybe about a tablespoon of parsley, maybe a little less mint. We've got enough olive oil so it's swimming in it. Our sardines are swimming in olive oil and spices and herbs. Salt goes on top because you need to balance the sweetness with the salt. Some nice sea salt. And into the oven it goes. I'm guessing that 450 will be about as good as putting it on top of glowing embers, but your guess is probably as good as mine. Looking pretty good. Need to see is if the meat is cooked, and it's looking pretty good. So let's see what our 21st century's tasters think of this one. So are you ready for the sardinas en cazuela?
Ready.
Here goes.
I want this one in the middle.
Do I touch the head?
Oh, you must touch the head. Absolutely. That's the best part.
I think it's still breathing. I ate about half my sardine, and it wasn't bad. And it tasted like really fresh oranges.
I would just guess that today's food is probably a lot better than food from 400 years ago, so I didn't think this was going to be very good, but it came out way better.
I ate the sardine and it was very good. And now I only have a couple of bites of sardine left.